Every boss in this game tells you what they're going to do, if you're calm enough to listen. Karmelita, she kept punishing me until I finally did. Let's face it, some of the bosses in Silksong are way more difficult than the beasts we faced in Hallow Nest. If you've been struggling to defeat this boss, pull up a chair and let's study the patterns together. One of my main focuses in gaming right now is moving from panic to pattern, so we're going to revisit some of my mistakes while slowing down and paying attention to the boss's patterns and movesets. This was my first try. You'll notice that I tend to run into the minions quite often. I was definitely not gifted with great spatial reasoning. Since you probably faced plenty of these bugs on your way to Karmelita, I won't spend too much time on them. But these Chonky bugs deserve a look. They have three main moves: a down rush, a side rush, and a side swipe. Alright, two birds with one stone, or Iseki Nicho. Well, my first attempt ended pretty quickly because I wasn't paying attention to when she was about to throw her spinning projectile blades, and I kept running into her. As I paid attention, I started noticing some of her tells. Here you'll see what I like to call the Sonic the Hedgehog attack. Before she launches this move, she'll jump in the air and make some variation of this call. Don't forget to watch out for the spikes that jut up right after the spin. When she's about to throw the spinning blades from above, she'll psych out with the Sonic spin. And when she's about to throw them horizontally, she'll lean over and make this sound. Also, watch out for her side spin with this vocal cue. And when she snaps into this stance where she holds her blades apart, one up and one down, she's about to strike forward with a 3-hit combo. There is one more pattern to look out for in phases 2 and 3, where she runs the full width of the arena and sets off a bunch of spikes. Pay attention to when she starts her jog, and you can either float above, safely pogo off the spikes, or hang on the wall. Besides that, honestly, it's about slowing down, paying attention, and getting used to the rhythm of the fight. Sure, good reflexes won't hurt, but learning Karmelita's patterns and movesets will do a lot of heavy lifting for you. Let's take a look at my build before we dive into the attempt where I finally delivered the coup de grace, a good 2 or 3 hours of practice later. I know there are lots of opinions about which crest is the best, but honestly, I have rarely changed away from the Wanderer's crest ever since I discovered it in the middle of Act 2. Choose the crest that best suits your playstyle, but I prefer this one for the moveset reminiscent of the OG Hollow Knight. But that pogo though. Chat pointed out to me relatively earlier on in my playthrough the powerful combination of the multi-binder and injector band. Instead of healing 3 masks all at once, you heal 4 masks broken up in sets of 2. I know it's only one more mask, but I think it makes a huge difference. I've seen a few comments on how the memory crystal is meh, but since I tend to take a lot of contact damage, it's actually been great for a few extra hits. I found it somewhere on Mount Faye, though the exact location escapes me. For my red tool, I've been loving the cog flies. They've been really helpful in allowing me to focus more on dodging while they do a little extra damage. You can find the tool in a side room on the right side of the high halls area, just make sure you have some craft metal. And the silk skill? Cross stitch if you can get the timing right, though Threadstorm and Silk Spear wouldn't be bad options either. If you have it, the Ascendant's grip is super useful for clinging to the wall without having to slide down. Alright, this was the run. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I slowed down, focused on Karmelita's patterns, and tried not to get too greedy with my nail strikes. Cross stitch gives you a moment of invulnerability while dealing damage, so it's pretty helpful. The top of the arena was my go-to spot for healing since she couldn't jump up that high. Take full advantage of the stagger, especially when paired with the quick speed of the Wanderer's Crest attack. Phase 2. She gets a little faster and introduces that new move, but keep your cool and you'll be fine. I know it's a tough trade-off when you want to make sure you have enough silk to heal yourself, but honestly, cross stitch helps me land a decent amount of damage. Also, don't forget the power of a normal parry. They're not required per se, and they do take a good grasp on timing, but they give you a split second of invulnerability.
Oh, don't dash into her, Paul-chan. Oh. Oh, staggered as she's going into the third. My gosh. That was kind of fun.
Phase 3 is chaotic and fast, but this is where the cogflies come in handy. They can do some damage while you focus on staying out of harm's way. Don't get too greedy and land a hit or two at a time when you can find a brief lull in her movement.
Oh my gosh. Cogflies for the win. And the memory crystal. Let's do a little bit of debrief. I think that last round, I definitely was taking less needless risks. I think I still had a few, but I was focusing on trying to just not get hit. The cogfly was a really good helper right there. Cogfly and the memory crystal. I think that can be a kind of a powerful combo because when you get hit, the memory crystal will leave behind those extra traps for the boss. The cogflies obviously do their own thing and give some extra DPS, right? Maybe not every second, but occasionally. Anyway, I don't know. That was fun. Okay, Karmelita was awesome.
So there you have it. If this fight felt overwhelming to you at first, that's totally normal. Honestly, what I needed wasn't a better reaction speed, it was slowing down enough to actually see what was happening. That's the panic to pattern idea in a nutshell. If this breakdown helped you approach the fight more calmly, you might enjoy the rest of the channel. I break bosses, levels, and puzzles down the same way, one pattern at a time. Feel free to subscribe and keep learning how to face these fights without all the stress. Take a breath, and good luck on your next attempt.